All right, Mr. Darcy is hiking in the mountains, and he's walking a little bit too close to a ledge far above him, 40 meters up, which is pretty far actually. It's 130, 135 feet. And a rock falls down. A rock falls out from the overhang, okay? And clonks me on the head. I survive, I live, I have a very hard head, I have a metal plate here, I'm fine. Okay, now, I want to know what's going to be the final velocity of the rock when it bounces off my head. I have a very hard head. Now, here's the equation, V of D. So V final squared equals V initial squared plus 2AD. A is actually G, 10 meters per second squared. D is 40, that's 0. So, what this becomes, the Fi, we're going to say Fi, we're going to say naught. That becomes 0, and that drops out. So, square root of both sides. Equals 2 times 10 times 40. 2 times 10 times 40. 2 times 10 times 40. All right, so root 800. Root 800. Root 800. Oops, got to turn it on. Root 800. 28 meters per second. 28 meters per second. Pretty fast. It says in the problem, it says, I need my glasses. It says, how does this speed compare to that of a car traveling down a highway at a speed of 25 meters per second, which is 55 miles an hour? That's about 60 miles an hour. About 60 miles an hour. So it's pretty fast. So that is going to be on top of you like that. Very, very quick. You know what? That's the answer, 28 meters per second, which is about 60 miles an hour. So you say, well, how does it compare with 25 miles an hour? Hey, it's faster than 25 meters per second, sorry. So let's do this. Let's say, okay, how long did it take to fall that distance? We know that the final velocity is 28 meters per second. How long did it take? Distance and time. So d of t equals v naught t plus plus 1/2 at squared. Okay? Now, the initial velocity is 0, so that drops out. So d equals 5t squared. Where do we get 5 from? Well, a is g, half of g is 5t squared. Okay, so I know the distance, I want to know the time. Divide through by 5, take the square root, right? So t equals d over 5. So t equals 40 over 5. Or what is the square root of 8? Okay? So it would be root, oops, wrong one. Can't even see with my glasses on. Square root, oops, square root of 8. 2.8. So 2.8 seconds. So you have 2.8 seconds to somebody say, look out below! By the time they finish saying, look out below, you don't have the time to respond. You don't. I'm telling you, motion can be extremely deceiving. Be very careful with motion, especially on the roads. Leave plenty of distance between you and the driver ahead of you. Okay? All right. I'm going to shut this off and we'll come back for another problem. Be right back.